Welcome into this week's Citrus Preps podcast, along with Mike Dean. I'm Brett Newsom as we get you through this week and another week of high school sports as we're getting closer. Mike, we're getting closer to the end of the fall, the winter sports, and getting close to the spring. And unfortunately for a lot of the area teams, it's coming to a disappointing end, right?
Yep. Lecanto girls last night, or I think Tuesday night, yes, actually got beat by Seabreeze at travel because they finished second in the district. Had traveled over to Daytona and lost a 2-1 heartbreaker as they tied it up at halftime, but came back in the second half. Seabreeze did, and actually won the game.
They had them tied, but I mean, Seabreeze is a fantastic team. They've got a reputation, a history for being really good. So Lecanto had their hands full, but played well. That just, you saw Eastside had a relatively easy win, 4-0 in their game. Shows you the importance of winning the district, getting the home. You get the home game. You also get the team who loses in the other district championship game. And, I think the argument could be made. I mean, Seabreeze may be the best out of that little group, but Lecanto and Eastside were right there. Obviously Eastside got the break by playing the worst of the four teams, and they took advantage of them and beat them. So
2-hour ride over and everything else.
That's never fun.
So Seabreeze is actually, both boys and girls are good teams that have been in the perennial playoff pretenders, for the last couple of years. Actually won state championships, a couple, and the boys did. In fact, the Citrus boys soccer is actually traveling there tonight, Wednesday, to play in their regional semifinal against Seabreeze. And the boys team were the runner-up last year in the state. So they got their hands full on that one too. But hopefully Josh McKenna, Coach McKenna's team, can pull it out. They need some good play from their team completely, make a complete team play. But they also got there's a couple of players that they got that's up front on scoring, and they need to get those guys on track.
Yeah, you're gonna have your hands full, and the one thing, Lecanto yesterday they played from behind for a lot of the first half, and that's one thing you got to try and do is, especially when you're on the road, keep that game and that match as even as long as you can. Hard to dig yourself out of a hole. Lecanto did, as they obviously tied the game at 1, but not enough. So good luck to Citrus as they try to continue their season. Regular season in basketball for boys and girls coming to a close. For girls, they're in the district tournament. Last night, actually started on Monday night with Crystal River, a big win over Central. Crystal River lost the coin flip. They were the 2 seed. They knocked off Central to advance to the semifinals tonight. They'll take on Nature Coast, who was a bit of a surprise, upset winner over Hernando, even though the game was played at Nature Coast because they're the host. But so Crystal River will play Nature Coast tonight. Great ball game last night between two of our county girls teams. Citrus continues their late season run. They have been very, very good in the last 3 to 4 weeks. They pick up another win, a big win to keep their season alive. They knock off Lecanto and Lady Panthers season. So Citrus will be right back at it tonight. They'll have their hands full, taking on a Weeki Wachee team that has dominated the district, just like Crystal River. I think everybody and their brother is going to assume it's Crystal River and Weeki Wachee in the championship game. Nature Coast and Citrus has a little something to say about that.
Yeah, Citrus is still, there's hope that Nature Coast lost against Central during the season, so I'm sorry, Weeki Wachee.
Right, lost to Crystal River.
Right. But that's where you have some hope there, and Citrus got to bring it up. They got to keep that pace to keep the momentum going for this game.
Yeah, you saw them win a game with a score in the 40s last night. It'll be one of the keys against Weeki Wachee tonight to try and keep that score. I mean, if Weeki Wachee scores in the 60s, which they're very capable of, they've done a lot this year, I think they're going to win that game. For Citrus, you got to try to slow it down. You got to value each possession. They've been playing with confidence, and I'm sure, Coach Julie Bryant and her assistants are going to emphasize that we have nothing to lose. I mean, nobody expects us to win. We just got hot. Yeah, I mean, everyone expects Weeki Wachee to not only get to the state playoffs but win a few games. So just see what happens, and hope that maybe you catch them on a little bit of an off night, and you just continue to play like you have. For Crystal River and Coach Charlie Bryant, I think it's just stay focused. I mean, they beat Nature Coast twice during the regular season. There's always that 3 times in a year. I don't buy it as much in the high school ranks. Look, the bottom line is there is a talent gap there. Crystal River, girl for girl, is a better basketball team than Nature Coast. They've shown it throughout the course of the year. You just have to avoid the big game jitters and being nervous.
Looking for the next game. I mean, play Weeki-Wachee and get the district championship. So that's the problem that they have to face right now. Coach Bryant's got to just bring the kids in and say, hey, just focus on this one game at a time. Let's get through this.
And I think it does help also because, you realize the bigger picture. You win tonight, you're in the state tournament.
Yeah.
Crystal River has a few girls that have been through that before. They know what it's like. There's always something, crazy that happens, or, there's going to be a game that's closer. We saw it last year. The Lecanto girls play deep into the fourth quarter against Weeki-Wachee. It's tough because, you get into the fourth quarter and you look up and you're used to being up by double digits. Instead, it's a 2-point game with 3 minutes to go and the crowd's going crazy.
Yeah.
If you're Crystal River, you don't get in there. Make sure you're up 15 or 20 points. Easier said than done. But this is a group that, despite some of their youth, they've got girls that have been in these big games, that have made it to the district championship game, that have played in state playoff games. So I think they'll be okay. Coach Bryant's used to it. I mean, I don't know if there is a more laid-back coach on the sidelines than Charlie Bryant, and I think that helps calm his young ladies. And, you don't look ahead because it's tonight. You get in the state tournament by winning tonight. Yeah. And then you worry about, home court later.
You talk about tournament. This is, it's not like the first place person for the season with the record. The district goes automatically. They have to play into that. And that's happened before, and it can happen again. Is that you can also, lose one game and you're out.
Yeah.
That's why they play the tournament. They don't just give you that seed. They give you the
regular season doesn't do it. This isn't a dog and pony show. This is to get into the state playoffs. So that will certainly be an interesting couple of basketball games tonight. Like I said, I think everyone assumes you'll see Crystal River and Weeki-Wachee in the championship game coming up on Friday, but Nature Coast and Citrus have their shot. They've got their opportunity, and that's all you want at the end of the year, to get that one shot to see if you can make it into the state tournament. That's what all these teams dream of. So should be an interesting night out at Nature Coast High School. On the boys' side, still a game or two to be played for everybody before you get into the district tournament. We talked about a couple of the tiebreakers that happened on the girls' side. Well, it happened on the boys' side as well. No surprise, Nature Coast is the number 1 seed. They will get the bye automatically into the semifinals, which is obviously a huge benefit. You win one game next week, you're in the state tournament. Crystal River gets the number 2 seed. They will have to play that Monday night game. They will play Weeki-Wachee, a team that I believe just picked up their first win of the season in one of their final regular season games. And Crystal River, same thing. They've dominated them twice during the regular season, so I think Coach Urban, should feel confident. But you got to win that first one. I don't think they're going to have much trouble with that. Should be able to move on to the semifinals. Lecanto boys finished in a 3-way tie. It was Central, Hernando, and Lecanto all finished tied for 3rd in the district. The crazy tiebreakers, as it were. Lecanto had the best record against those two teams. They had a better record combined against Hernando and Central. All that did, unfortunately, with the way the tiebreakers work, that just eliminated Central from being the 3 or the 4, knocked them down to the 5. Lecanto loses the tiebreaker to Hernando because they had a better win. They beat Crystal River. So that knocks Lecanto down to the 4 seed, which, if you peek ahead, the 4 seed means you're going to see Nature Coast in the semifinals. If you got the 3 seed, you were going to play Crystal River. Both good basketball teams, but, Lecanto had an opportunity in one very, very close game at Lecanto. They played better games against Crystal River.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of that tiebreaker. Would have helped them, I think, in terms of confidence, but you still got to play who you got to play. And you got to figure out a way, to get through it. So, what that does, that will drop as I said, Citrus is sitting there at the number 6 seed. They will now have to play Hernando, and it'll be Central against Lecanto, two teams that have played throughout the entire regular season, the same exact district record. That should be a heck of a battle coming up on Tuesday night. Those games, that district tournament will be played out at Lecanto High School. So Tuesday night should be a couple of really good basketball games. We've talked about Citrus maybe struggled this year. We really thought they would get things going towards January. They played close games, but they did. They really never got. But they'll have that gym at Lecanto packed with their group, and try to upset Hernando, and then that would set up a pretty nice semifinal game against Crystal River. And then Lecanto, they'll have their hands full with Central, but they will be at home again. Should be a packed gym. Coach Velarde has a group that. It's just kind of funny. I go back to our interview with him before the season started. He said, look, we don't have unrealistic expectations. If we can finish 500 in district, we'll have done so. Well, guess what? They finished 6-6. But I'm sure he feels like there was a couple other wins out there, too.
Yeah, he left a couple of them on there. We saw 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They probably feel like they should have in some of those games, come back to haunt you in district seeding, but you got to make the best of it. So that district tournament will take place out at Lecanto beginning on Tuesday, so that should be a lot of fun, as well as we'll see what happens, and we've talked about it before, Mike. This is the last year where you go into the district tournament with the district semifinalist winners automatically get in. Next year it'll switch over to the district champ gets in. Yeah, and then the rest is based on the Max Preps strength of schedule and how the Max Preps ranking is what that's going to be. Don't get confuse that with the new football method, which is strength of schedule through Max Preps. The basketball, boys and girls, soccer, that's going to be on your rankings, which factors in obviously strength of schedule as well. But that'll all come to a change next year. I did see FHSAA put out the new volleyball districts, and what doesn't always mean it's going to work out that way. Remember, they're going to not districts but classifications. Lecanto up in volleyball, a different district in volleyball for Crystal River and Citrus, more Marion County based with some of the schools up there. You're going to see some more of the schools down in Hernando County put in with some of the Pasco County schools. So that's interesting, I guess. I mean, we're I think nothing against volleyball, but I think everyone's waiting to see baseball, soccer, softball, and basketball. What that is going to do with how it works, and it's a completely different way of handling it. Obviously, they've asked for these changes that they wanted to go through and make them. There's only 7 classifications in volleyball coming up, and so Lecanto is a 5A out of the 7. And their new district in volleyball, Springstead, River Ridge, Lecanto, Gulf, 5A, Countryside, and Clearwater. Wow. That's a southern-type district from where they're at. And those aren't the most fun. I mean, Springstead obviously is close. River Ridge, you're getting down into Pasco County, Newport Richey, Gulf, and 5A, but then you throw in Countryside and Clearwater in there.
North Pinellas County.
Yeah, that's big time. So in 4A is where you find Crystal River and Citrus, and they are going to go in 4A District 5. The Villages, Dunellen, Crystal River, Citrus, North Marion, and South Sumter. Pretty good district. I mean, in terms of travel.
Yeah.
You lose Lecanto, which doesn't help, but that's sort of the way it goes. But we talked about the Hernando County schools. You got Hudson, Hernando, Central, Nature Coast, Weeki Wachee. Then you got Cypress Creek down in Wesley Chapel and Wesley Chapel High. So I don't know for sure if this is going to be an exact precursor of what we could expect to see in boys and girls basketball when they reclassify those. But I mean, if you look at the population numbers and you look at this breakdown in volleyball, maybe you can read something into it and assume that may be a little bit of what we're going to see and the basketball districts coming up, which is, and again, basketball will start with district tournament champion gets in, and the wild cards are based on your ranking, and you don't have to schedule. There is no regular season district in boys and girls basketball now moving forward. So we talked to Coach Allen, who mentioned to us, going back to the conference affiliation, to get those games, they will see the district tournament based off your record and your schedule and all that, but you will not have played those teams necessarily twice during the regular season. So it's going to be a whole different, I guess that would help with the travel aspect of it.
Yeah,
you're in that district, but you do not have to play those teams twice. It's just seeding for the district tournament.
So if you're saying like a Countryside or Clearwater, the volleyball, you don't have to play them.
You don't have to play them, yeah.
But you would want to if you want to get some kind of ranking.
Yeah, or maybe like I said, that's why you're going to have the old conference that we had here to put back together to help with that. Yeah, you'll see mostly I would think the Citrus or Hernando schools try to play each other a couple times in these sports, so it's going to be it's going to be interesting.
You want to keep the rivalries going a little bit. That's what the whole thing about high school sports is, rivalries.
Yeah,
being able to play those things year after year and be able to see them and say, bragging rights within your geographic area is really what it is.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing going forward. I mean, you're looking at I just pulled up the map here of the district for volleyball. I mean, you can see where the Canto has got. But again, you don't have to do it in the regular season, and that's part of the reason why. That they're doing it, and we will have to see.
Powers that be make the decision.
Yeah, in the next couple of weeks, sometime in March, the classifications and districts for basketball, cross country, soccer will come out, and we'll get a better understanding. But I think you can, if you want to. I think you might could just read into those and look at the populations and see where these district lines may be drawn for basketball. I'm sure all of our coaches have already taken a peek at it and tried to figure out. And like I said, we've seen it in football. Lecanto has moved up. Citrus and Crystal River stay where they are, but the changing in the classifications and the district assignments as well for them, and then they're going to the RPI.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, that's what's happening, and that's where we will go. So that'll just about do it for us for this week. Obviously, boys and girls basketball taking center stage. A week from now, we'll be in the middle of the state tournament for girls. We'll know how many teams from this area we've got in. Good chance we'll be talking about Crystal River, I would assume. Citrus, you never know. They got a chance tonight to surprise everybody. That's why you play the games. A week from tonight, we'll be getting ready for the semifinal games on the boys' side of the district. And if you want to head out to Lecanto High School and support it, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, you'll get an opportunity to see two great basketball games. We know Lecanto will be playing that night as well as Citrus. They will be playing each other opposite. So that'll be fun for the crowd. So look forward to that.
Don't forget, we got the spring sports starting out now.
Yeah, they're already underway. Tryouts have been held. Practices are ongoing.
I mean, Citrus has got a game on the 26th. It's a warm-up game down.
We're already starting. I think softball starts in a week and a half with some of their preseason games. So it is here, and it is ready.
Coming.
Yep, ready or not.
We're ready for spring.
Yeah, it would be nice to get here soon. Although the weather's great,
it is perfect. Yeah, we're in Florida.
No doubt about that. Not a lot going on with the Buccaneers. Getting ready for the draft.
No news out of that. They're just it's always the answers about Deshaun Jackson, some of the players that are going to be here or not going to be here, what they're going to do. And that's all going to be up in the air until he starts getting closer to the draft and seeing what's going on. Trading deadline's coming up, so you see some there.
What about? I just saw today Matt Bryant released by the Atlanta Falcons and with the Buccaneers' horrible hit special teams coordinator.
He's here now.
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
It would be. It would be. He's. Bryant's had a heck of a career. The way it ended in Tampa wasn't good.
42, 43.
Still kicked well. on turf indoors. You know,
I think he'll stay with Kansas.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they'll be okay with it.
I mean, you score a lot of touchdowns, you don't worry as much about the field goals.
That's true. There you go. That's exactly right.
That's part of it. Real quick, we'll just end with the Super Bowl.
Called it.
You like defense, you got it.
I love that game.
You did? You like that?
I love that game.
It was. I mean, like I said before, whether you love or hate him, you got to respect them. The Patriots and Bill Belichick. Brady was bad.
He was.
He was bad in that game. But you just knew late in the fourth quarter. He put together 3 passes, 2 to Gronk, 1 over the middle. They go down and they take care of it.
If you look at that, every single one of those plays was the exact same play every single time, except for it was a different receiver.
Or they moved Gronk to one side or the other. The other thing is Brady dropped those 2 throws in there to Gronkowski.
That's crazy.
I mean, so it's unbelievable. It's don't ever underestimate how good Bill Belichick is, and I think that's part of it. I mean, it's Belichick.
It was Belichick for sure, but Brian Flores has some input on that. He's going to be in Miami right now. But
there's been a bad history of Belichick assistants as head coaches.
Yes, I agree with that, but we'll see if they can buck the trend here. But defensively, it was a masterful game, the way they called it and got on Goff. And the big question for me is, LA, why didn't you use Gurley as much as you did? That's always going to be the question. There's questions out there right now on Sports Talk. There's no reason why you don't use
do it in the NFC Championship game. They kept making reference to the knee injury, and if there was something.
I just don't see it. I mean, C.J. Anderson is a great back. But he's not Todd Gurley.
C.J. Anderson was also out of a job for 3/4 of the season. Nobody in the NFL wanted him. So, I mean, it's odd that he becomes your go-to guy in the Super Bowl run. There was something odd. I think they came out running early the first couple of possessions as window dressing.
Exactly. They were using him as decoy.
And Goff was, Goff had a great season. I still think there's an opportunity for him to be a very good quarterback in the league.
But he's not Brady.
He's not Brady, and they took advantage of his youth, his inexperience. Belichick talked about it. We tried to really take away his 2 main targets. The thing that maybe even myself, I was a little confused with, because I didn't watch the Rams every game this year. High scoring offense, they put up a lot of points, but play action and the run really sets up their. It's not the greatest show on turf, Kurt Warner Rams. It's not throwing the ball 50 times a game Rams. I mean, it's
not relying on Goff to win it.
Yeah, that's what they made him do.
Yep. And that's exactly what Belichick and Flores did. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Pressure Goff, put the blitz packages in there, and the stunts that they had. Fantastic game calling for both Belichick and Flores.
Yeah.
Congratulations. They deserve that. I mean, that was a defensive struggle, which I love. People say, well, I'm scoring, but I want to see how the coaches react to that and how they adjust. And I think Belichick out-adjusted Sean McVay.
Yeah, and someone made a good point, too, that, the Patriots and, Brady gets a ton of credit, and obviously he deserves a lot of it. But, the Patriots, the last quarter of the season, became an old-school run-first, between the tackles football team.
Good point.
And, they showed it can work. And they weren't successful trying to throw it around the field. No. They were losing games. They went back, and not only, they're old school running the football with running backs that I would assume 29 or 30 of the other teams in the league didn't want or didn't.
They didn't want, and they don't even have, because half the teams don't even have a fullback.
Yeah, Michelle, I think, is potentially a really good running back, but not. He's not Todd Gurley. He's not one of your top 10 elite running backs.
You got James White. You got Burkhead. You got Devlin, who's going to lead block on you. You got Gronkowski, who's a tight end that can catch a ball but also can block.
And Burkhead was the guy who made a couple of the big runs late. And
what amazes me is how Belichick puts these players together and makes them work within the system that he has and says this is the way it's going to be, and you either go with it and go with the flow, or you're out.
Yeah, there's he not only does it the way he wants to in terms of the players, but he also is not afraid to adjust midstream what he's doing. I mean, remember that great year they had where they were undefeated going to the Super Bowl. They threw the ball all over the field with Randy Moss. They were as wide open as any team in the NFL. Okay, that worked for that team. Now we're going to go back to Larry Zonk in 1972, and we're just going to run the football, and that. whether you like it or not, I mean,
Tom Brady.
How tough is it though when you're doing that for most of the game, and then with 6 minutes to go in the game, okay, Tom, I need you to drop a couple right over,
right there. Yeah, it has to be right there. He did it,
and that's that's the difference between quarterbacks that know how. And plus, he's been there too. There's something to be said for that. I mean, I sat there and talked to one of my friends who's a Saints fan and said, Drew Brees. Well, Drew Brees has been in one Super Bowl. As good as he is, would he have been able to make those plays in this? I don't know. Being able to do that in the big game is not easy. It helps when you've been in it 9 times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, can you guarantee me he would have made those throws like Tom Brady? He's every bit the quarterback, but you got to – some guys they know how to get it done in the moment. And he's – I mean, look, I forget who said it. It may have been Romo or, Nance or somebody in the postgame. Just appreciate it because you're not going to see this again. You're not going to see this in the NFL.
And if he gets another one, that's what I think what Tom is trying to do is he's going to solidify it. He's going to have one more.
We'll
see.
Are you going to doubt them next year? I'm not.
I'm not. No way. I'm calling. I'll put my bet in right now.
0-6, and I wouldn't. It always helps when you play in a horrible division.
Exactly.
You can just but like they said, five of their losses were teams who weren't even in the playoffs. They were losing to bad teams. It's unbelievable. National Signing Day was today for high school athletes. For all those out there, it's a great day. We did get a ton of info from local teams and who's going where. I know Tyler Sandak and DeAndre Parker are headed to Mount Union in Ohio, a Division III powerhouse, plays in the national championship game seemingly every single season. So best of luck to them as they head up to Ohio next year. If they stay there for 4 years, I think it's a safe bet they'll probably play in 3 national championship games, unless it's a shock the way things have gone. So, and anyone else out there that we weren't made aware of, congratulations to you, your coaches,
text us too with
family.
Or email us.
Please let us know because we'd love to know anyone moving on to playing the college ranks. It's a great accomplishment. I don't care. We said this before. I don't care if it's JUCO, NAIA, D3, D2, D1. You get an opportunity to play college athletics and use those years. That will be a fantastic accomplishment. So congratulations. We'll be back next Wednesday as we will keep you going on the girls' state basketball tournament, the boys' district tournament, and we will be ready to roll through as we're getting close to the spring sports. So be back here next Wednesday for Citrus Preps Podcast.